Good morning, all you Loganites out there. So last time we left off with the Appalachian Trail, where I was leaving with my granddad and uncle. I was in their minivan on the way back to Memphis, defeated. And that's the best word for it, defeated, because that's what I was. I set out to hike the whole trail and I didn't do it. Defeated. But it's interesting, okay? So I got back to town, and you know, you go see your brothers and everybody, or your mom, your dad, everybody like that. I went to go see my brother and his wife. I think they were wife at the time. So my sister-in-law, and I was telling them what happened and about how I can walk on flat ground, but if I'm up to any kind of incline, I can't handle it. It hurts really, really badly. So I told her all that, and she goes, "Well, gosh, look at your knee." And I look down, and my left knee's the one that's hurt, my right knee's not. I look down, and my left knee looks like there's a softball. It looks like it's super, super swollen. And I kid you not, I had not noticed that it was swollen whatsoever. Not one bit. I think it's like one of those like body dysmorphia diseases where like if you think you're fine, you're gonna see that you're fine. Because I looked down and it was kind of like the mirage going away. Oh my God, my knee is completely swollen. Completely swollen. I was like, I did not notice this before. And thank God for her, because she sat down, she goes, "Well, you need to go to an ortho doc." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." She goes, "Well, why don't you use the ones that Jacob used, my brother?" So she pulls it up online and she goes, "Well, here, this is how you set up an appointment. When do you want your appointment to be?" I'm like, "As soon as possible." She goes, "How about tomorrow?" I said, "Perfect." She goes, 10 o'clock. I said, "Perfect." And she made the appointment for me right then and there. Madison, thank you very much. You're awesome. And so I went to the doctor. And he, you know, he felt me up and everything, and he asked me a little bit of history about how it happened, if there was any acute trauma or acute injury. There wasn't. It was just me hiking. So he feels me up and he says, "You've got quadricep tendonitis, and basically you need to stay off of it, hiking and running, for," I think he said 6 to 8 weeks, or maybe, yeah, I think he said 6 to 8 weeks. And then he gave me a long-term NSAID, like ibuprofen, meloxicam, I believe is what it was. He said you can swim and you can bike. If you feel any pain, back off of it, okay? Give it a week before you do any of that, but just take this meloxicam daily, do that, and at the end of the 6 weeks, 8 months, if you're still not 100%, come back and we can reassess and see what we need to do. The downside is, he said that I may have issues with this for the rest of my life, which to me means that I will not be able to hike like I want to. And I'd read about other stuff, read a lot into it once he told me quadricep tendonitis. Like, people have this for the rest of their life and it just flares up. It just flares up. It's something they have to deal with. They have like little bands that go above your knee to help the tendon stay in place, and like all kinds of extra stuff. But I was like, at least there's, you know, something that I can do to help it, but I really don't want to have to deal with this for the rest of my life if avoidable. But I'm the one that made the mistake. I'm the one that went and tried to do it all. So I was like, okay, here's my game plan. I'm just gonna take it easy and just travel around a little bit. I got still like 5 months off from work. You know, I've only been gone a week and a half, maybe 2. Because, you know, I spent some time in Georgia and hanging out on my own and then with my family, so I've still got plenty of time to kill. So what am I gonna do? Like, well, I've never been to Florida, never like really been to Florida, so I'm gonna take a road trip through Florida. Oh, but first, my granddad's having a knee replacement surgery, and they were worried about who was gonna stay with him. So me and my brother Caleb, me and him split it up, and we stayed with him at the hospital, stayed with him at the house, took him to his first little physical therapy stuff. Hold on. Me and Caleb decided to split up all of the like chores and duties to get Paw back to where he could drive, and it only took, I think, about 2 weeks for Paw to get back to where he can drive himself to and from his PT appointments and stuff. So that was my game plan, you know. Pawpaw and Uncle Casey came and saved me from Georgia out of their own free will. They took care of me, got me home. I'm gonna stay around and help them out a little bit. So I stayed with him, got him up and ready, which was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad I had that opportunity to do it. I wouldn't have had that opportunity if I hadn't hurt my knee. So, you know when they say everything happens for a reason? It might be right, I don't know. Still on the edge. I don't regret any of it, but I'm not into all the voodoo either. Time for another, that's a discussion for another time. So after Pawpaw got all healed up, I decided I'm gonna do a road trip through Florida. Now keep in mind, I still haven't gotten my authorization to test for nursing school. So I'm still waiting for the state board to say, Logan, you can go take your licensing boards. Right now you're in limbo. You can't do anything until we give you this ATT, okay? You're just sitting there on your hands, waiting, all right? That's all you're doing. So I'm gonna go to Florida, and then by the time I get done in Florida, I should have my ATT, so I can come back to Memphis, take the test. By that time, I should be all healed up, because I've been biking, I've been swimming. I was swimming over at Casey's pool. I was biking around Cordova and stuff, my mom's place. Walking lightly, you know, just trying to test it out, feel the waters. So by the time I get back, I should be able, everything should happen out perfectly. It all should be timed out great. So I hop in the car and I head toward Florida. I tried to catch like a cousin that was staying in, I think, somewhere Georgia, and then tried to catch another cousin that was staying in Georgia, and it didn't work out. The timing just wasn't right. So I went to, oh gosh, what's that? What's the place? Water, beach, west side, no, east side. Oh man, it's gonna kill me. Not Jacksonville. I don't know. But I went to this place first. It's north of St. Augustine, and I spent the night there. I actually ended up car camping in a really rich neighborhood, and I don't really know if that was the best choice, but it was definitely a choice. Because at one point in the night, I was sleeping in the car, and the car that was in front of me, car's alarm went off, and the dude who owned the car came running out like I stole his car, or was doing something to his car. I was like, what were you doing to my car? Yada, yada, yada. And I was drunk, because of course, what do you do in a place you don't know? You go to the bar. And I had to move the car, drunk as shit. I mean, I don't really drive, but when you've got this crazy person like yelling at you in your face, what else do you do? I didn't have any other options in my opinion, and plus I wasn't thinking straight. So I stayed there that night in the car after drinking and having a good time, and just kept on going from there. I went from Jacksonville, went to, I think, it's not Jacksonville. It's not Jacksonville. I'm gonna find out what it is. All right, so I did look it up. It was Jacksonville. I did not know this because it was on Atlantic Beach, and I was thinking Atlantic Beach was totally different than Jacksonville. It's not. It's a part of it. Kayla brought me my computer, so I'm ready to go tonight. I'll be down at Germantown. If I don't have that computer, I ain't got nothing to do all night. So Atlantic Beach was fun. I told you about the crazy dude that thought I was stealing his car. There was also a dude that I went out to the bar, and it's just me. I don't ever meet a stranger. Everything's cool and copacetic until this guy I hang out with, he starts buying me drinks. I bought him a drink. We end up playing, I think, pool or some sort of bar game together. I don't quite remember. And then he introduces me to all of his work buddies that he's down there working on one of the restaurants down there. And they start buying me drinks. They think I'm a cool cat. Everything's going good until this dude starts getting rowdy, and he gets kicked out of the bar. He gets kicked out of the bar, and I'm like, look, I tell the bouncer, I'm like, I really don't know him. I just met him drinking. And the bouncer's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna let you stay, and I'm gonna kick this dude out. Well, then he kicks the other crazy dude in Atlantic Beach out, lets me stay. Well, then the crazy dude's like at the door, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. you didn't get kicked out with me, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I'm like, oh, I talked to the bouncer, like, what do I do, man? He goes, I don't know, but I wouldn't go out that way. And I was like, can you let me out the back way? He's like, sure. So he let me out the back way. Now I'm sleeping in my car, not knowing where this crazy MFer ended up. Atlantic Beach was a little nuts to me, but the beach was beautiful. It was pretty nice. So go to Atlantic Beach. After Atlantic Beach, went down to Miami. Can't say I was a fan of Miami, to be honest. It was very dense in population. It was a lot. It was very nightclubby, very money. I don't have much to say about it because I didn't really enjoy it, sadly. But from Miami down to the Keys, or sorry, let's start from the trip from like Daytona Beach to Miami. Beautiful beaches everywhere. Like, just pristine, nice. There's like picnic tables you can stop at, good places to grab grub. All the seafood's amazing. Like, it was really good in like the rural area. And like I said, Daytona Beach was nice, not Daytona, Jacksonville and Atlantic Beach were nice. Just like, you know, if I'd like actually rented somewhere to stay, it would have been nicer. So go down to Miami, didn't like it, stayed there I think a night or two. Then I went from Miami to the Keys, and the drive from Miami to the Keys, I don't know how long it's supposed to be, but I took my time stopping and sightseeing and stuff. And it was so pretty, so pretty. People like to fish right there at all of the long bridges, catching good stuff. It's hot, super hot. But you can get out and go get in the water anywhere you want. It was nice. It was really nice. Was it like 7 Mile Bridge coming down to the Keys? Was super cool. There's a lot of tourist traps, which you expect anywhere, but a lot of them. Didn't really enjoy that. Didn't really enjoy much until I actually got down to the Keys, where there was all the history stuff. So I got down to the Keys and I found the hostel. The hostel's pretty simple, pretty sweet. Kind of on the expensive side for a hostel. It was like 35 bucks a night. But it's the Keys, right? They let me know where all the cool beaches are, how to get into some of the private beaches, where to go, what to do, what to see. And then luckily there's this local guy that's staying there. And the local guy, he hooks me up with other local places to go. So the first night I got down there, I didn't know this, it's freaking Gay Pride. It's Gay Pride in the Keys, which apparently they're known for. And I'm not exactly exposed to all of that all the time. Like, I'm cool with it, do whatever you want to, you know? Your life, your rules, whatever. But I'm not exposed to it. So I get down there and it's like the ending ceremony is the Gay Pride. I don't want to get too explicit, but I saw things happening on the street that I haven't even seen on a computer. It was intense. It was intense and it was a lot. I will say the costumes that people wore for this festival were like mind-boggling. Like there was one dude, and I'll never forget this. You know, of course, like you had a few drinks, you're like enjoying the show. There's this one dude that was on like a light-up bicycle. His beard was immaculate. It was an older guy, white beard, white beard, and he had it like shaved, like lines here, and then it came out and curled. And he had this top hat and lights and stuff all over him. It was freaking fantastic. And I'll be honest, you know, I'm a sucker for a good beard, man. If I see another man with a good beard, I'm gonna have to go look at it. I don't know. I know the time and attention it took to make that happen, and I appreciates it. I really do. Gay Pride Fest, man, Key West. I kind of want to go back and see the whole thing. I really do. So that happened. All right, let's get out of Gay Pride. That happened, and then the next day, I think I just did some like local sightseeing. Went and saw Hemingway's house. What's his first name? Something Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway's house with all the cats and stuff. One of the local artists gave me a piece of their artwork. I was just talking to him and telling him what I was doing and everything, that I just finished nursing school and whatnot. see. Oh, there's a state park down there that's at the very south end of the Keys that you have to pay like $2 or $3 to drive into. Maybe I walked it. No, I walked into it because I was walking that day. I was like, I'm gonna go take a walking day. And then I walked around Hemingway's house, and I walked down to this state park, and it was like $2 or $3 to get in. And they had private beaches with all this like cool stuff. They had a fort there, like an old military fort, which was super cool. Really like cool, secluded stuff. The local had told me about this island that's like 60 miles south. So southeast is Cuba, southwest is the Dry Tortugas. The Dry Tortugas is like a dry set of islands. Okay, there's one big island, and that's the Tortuga, that has the biggest brick and mortar fort in the world. It's one big like pentagon or hexagon with huge walls and stuff that he's like, if you can go, you need to go. So I got online and looked, and luckily I was a solo traveler at the time. It was going to be like $200 to ride the boat, like 2 hours, 3 hours out, and 3 hours back. You spend the middle of the day there. I think the boat left at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I think maybe 9 a.m. Got to show up at like 8:30. They serve breakfast, lunch, and then you can buy beer and stuff on the way back. I mean, great setup, man. I recommend it to anybody. Any more than a day, you have to be into spearfishing, okay? Because when you get out there, like the water, you get away from Key West, and you get out there where there's no seaweed. Because that was the issue with Key West. It was like seaweed season, so the water was all kind of murky from all the seaweed, and it was, you know, a little nasty to swim in because all the seaweed. Whatever is what it is, but you get out there, it's crystal clear. It's crystal clear, and there's freaking fish everywhere. Like there was like an old pier that was falling down out there, and it said, well, if you swim out there, that's where the fish are gonna be. I said, well, of course I'm going out there, duh. You know, swim out there, and there is, I would like to say there's probably 5 fish that were bigger than me. Don't know what they were, but they were huge. There was probably 300 like good fillet size fish, all right? 300 plus. Then there was thousands of these tiny little fish, like tiny silver fish, and there were schools of them, right? You could swim in, they wouldn't run away. You would swim into a school of them, and then they would like encircle you and encompass you, and like, you know, you would try to reach out to touch them, and they'd go and come back. One of the trippiest things I've ever done sober, okay? 100% one of the trippiest things I've ever done sober. Fish were super cool. What else did I do? Oh man, I swam around the whole island. There was like this family of people that were like swimming along one of the edges, and he was like, hey, I kind of want to keep on going. And I was like, well, hell, I'll go with you. Like, I ain't got nothing else to do. So me and him, just with our little fins and snorkel, just swam around the whole island, which at certain points kind of got scary, I'm not gonna lie. There was one side where there was a definite current and some definite swell, and it got a little sketchy at one point, and I think he actually turned back, if I'm not mistaken, and then it ended up just being me going around the island, which was not the smartest choice, but hey, you know, you do you, right? But I did get to see a lot of cool fish and a lot of cool coral and a lot of cool stuff on the bottom that I don't know how many people get to see. I mean, I just legit just swam around the island. And I would go down and dive. It was only like, I don't know, like 12 feet deep at the walls. It was kind of like, and it didn't get deeper, just kind of like as far as I could see, 12 feet deep. And I don't really know what the clarity was, but I could see a pretty ways out there. But anywho, swam around the island, walked around that fort. I met another couple and another older dude that we were hanging out on the way over there. So once I got done swimming and everything, you know, we got back on the boat to head on back, and I got on there right at the last moment, by the way. Got on there last moment, we get back on the boat, now we can order some beers. And man, I only had like 4 or 5 beers, and I got lit, dude. we had such a good time on that ride back, because I guess you're just dehydrated from being out in the sun all day. You're tired. They just hit you like a brick. So had a good time coming back, and then just walked my sorry ass back to the hostel and slept. Lots of good pictures. I'm gonna throw some pictures in there, because it was seriously awesome. I think the next day I just kind of took it nice and easy. Went and hit some few restaurants that I wanted to hit up. Didn't do anything too crazy during the day. That night I went out to my first drag show. Got lit. One of those women or men or whatever you want to say was pretty good looking. I was like, oh, it's interesting. One of the dudes that was watching, he got really into it. He was like, let me put $1 bill in there. I was like, oh man, I'm so glad you're with a woman to like rein you in, because I don't know what you'd be doing if you were out here on your own, bud. Really getting into it. It's a whole nother story. But I just took it easy, man. It's a vacation. Went and hit up some other beaches. One of the cool things is like the public beaches that you don't even have to pay to get into. They've got like stairs down into the ocean. Like you go out the pier or the dock, whatever you want to call it, and then at certain intervals, they've just got stairs down to the ocean, so you can like walk down into the water and then start swimming. And then when you get out, you just walk right out. That's super cool to me. But then, important part of the story, I got an email that says I have my ATT. I got my authorization to test. That's great news. Like, I've been waiting a month for this. So I get online to schedule it. I follow, I got my little packet out. I follow all the instructions, log in. I can either take the test in like 5 or 6 days, or say 7 days. So I can take the test in 7 days, or I have to wait a whole month. And that's in the entire state of Tennessee. That is all the testing centers in Tennessee. Memphis, like Podunk, Nowhere testing centers, all the way up to Memphis, Nashville, all the way out to whatever that top right-hand corner of Tennessee is. Knoxville, it's not Knoxville, but there's a town up there, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's nowhere to test except for in 7 days in Nashville, and then a month from now, they all kind of open up, because I guess everyone who already has their ATT has already had a chance to test. So I've got a choice. Do I try to make the 7 days, or do I wait a month, like, and mess up all of my logistics for getting back on the trail? Because I was supposed to be in Florida for like another week and a half. I was going to leave Keys and then go back up so I came down the east side. I was going to go back up the west side, hit Orlando, hit, I don't know, whatever other cities are up there. Just kind of take a leisurely route back. So I have the choice of saying, screw that, driving straight back to Memphis, really putting in some time and attention to studying, or putting the time and attention to studying, driving to Nashville for the test, hoping I pass, and then if I do pass, I'm free and clear for the summer. I have no other goals or no other responsibilities for the rest of the summer. Okay? That's if I pass. And if it's feasible for me to get back in Memphis in time. Or I'd say, don't do that. Take my time in Florida. Okay? Take the rest of the week in Florida. Leisurely get back to Memphis. Take the 3 weeks to kind of get my head straight and get everything together to go take the test, and then just take the test in Memphis. Have a higher chance of passing. And then go back to the Appalachian Trail for that. But I'd be killing 2 to 3 weeks in studying, right? Killing or, investing 2 to 3 weeks in studying. Depends on how you want to look at it. So I got a choice to make. A big choice. And I think that's where I'm gonna leave it off. What do you think I did? You know me, pretty alright. What do you think Logan and all his smartness decided to do? And I think that's where I'm gonna leave it off. Do me a favor, y'all. If you like what I'm doing, if you're actually watching it, whoever you are out there, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, call me on my BS, And remember, keep your corn on the cob.